It's a scene straight out of a spy film. Employees at the Chinese consulate in Houston burned documents before they're forced to leave the U.S. on Friday. The expulsion of the 60 diplomats and their families is just the latest step taken by the U.S. against a country it considers a national security threat.
We are setting out clear expectations for how the Chinese Communist Party is going to behave. And when they don't, we're going to take actions that protect the American people, protect our security, our national security, and also protect our economy and jobs.
Even before the U.S. officially announced the closure on Wednesday, officials in Beijing were condemning the move.
This is intentional sabotage to bilateral relations and is extremely outrageous. China strongly condemns it and urges the US side to withdraw its decision. Otherwise, China will definitely take a necessary and legitimate response.
The Trump administration's decision is the latest in a string of what it calls punishments for China's recent actions, imposing tariffs on Hong Kong goods after Beijing revoked its autonomy, officially opposing Chinese efforts to claim the South China Sea as its own, imposing sanctions to protest the alleged abuse and imprisonment of Uyghur Muslims. And what Washington has insisted was Beijing's failure to warn everyone about COVID-19 before the virus outbreak turned into a global pandemic. Later on Wednesday, senators grilled Deputy Secretary of State Stephen Biegun during a hearing about the administration's China policy.
I know you argue that this president and the administration has been uniquely successful with China, and I know you're good at your job. Before the hearing devolves into a hearing bashing China and the World Health Organization for the COVID pandemic, let me assure you, blame game politics won't save American lives.
Some analysts say that despite the administration's harsh rhetoric, there may well be justification for closing the Houston consulate.
For a long time, the Chinese have gone after telephone, internet-related technology, space technology, and so on, much of which is in Texas. So it's a sensible step from that perspective for the United States.
The Trump administration says by closing the Chinese consulate in Houston, it's punishing Beijing for its bad behavior. But political opponents say the White House strategy could backfire by encouraging its Chinese counterparts to retaliate. Rosiland, Al Jazeera, Alexandria, Virginia.